We are now live. We are now live. Let's, we don't have any invited guests, fortunately. We're not allowing people in. Do we need to cover the numbers? Want to cover them real fast, Randy?
Sure. Capital fund, 178,689. Depreciation fund total, 123,888. Delinquencies for March was $16,692. For April, $17,569. Road delinquencies in March was $2,961. Road delinquency in April, $1,660. That's because two that were on the road delinquency sold, so they got paid up. Special assessment, Popular Bank, we have $101,351. Dam repair checking, have $121,103, totaling $222,454.
Okay, we don't do anything on the allocations, although we are going to discuss the funding goals.
You have the allocations in your packet there that I provided if you want to look at them.
Is this new?
Yeah, that's this month.
Well, I got one dated 4/14 somewhere. Is this?
That would have probably been, that would have, what, we have dated 4/14.
One of these.
Oh, yeah, I passed one out 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
At the last meeting. This is updated.
Which one are we? What are you?
Fund transfers. This is the updated version.
Chris, why don't we include the amenities in the red?
Pardon me?
Why don't we include the two red amenities in the total? In the total over here.
Yeah, because those are for next year.
So this is basically 2019.
Right.
Okay.
Right. With 2019 being paid out in 2020.
Yeah, but they're still obligated to fund it.
Sure, and we will.
Right.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
I thought they need to be included, my personal opinion.
Well, I think there's another. Well, let's talk about it when we get to it. I don't mind. Okay. Any news or notes?
No.
Without going into any detail, you'll see an e-blast tomorrow morning. We have our first confirmed case here in Hideaway Hills.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, it's my understanding that that person went to the hospital and has since been sent home with some oxygen or something. So that's better than standing there and being on a machine or something. So thumbs up on that, but we are going to announce it tomorrow, and there will not be any details of who it is or anything else, but we feel that we gotta let people know.
Age bracket? Can I know that?
Don't know.
I'm not 100% sure.
I really don't.
Okay.
I would guess
50s probably.
over 50.
No, I don't think so. Over 50s.
You don't think he's over 50?
Like 5
Well,
years?
50s, yeah. 50s.
I said over 50, 0,
Oh.
50, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So a youngster.
Absolutely. Compared to,
Some of
well, compared to you.
Thanks. Randy and I think, are leading the pack in this.
I think you're probably right. I think you're right. That's one area that I'm not leading the pack and don't care to. Okay.
I'm happy to lead the pack for as long as I can.
That's, there you go. I'm happy for you to lead it. Request for expenditures. Jim and I went down 2 weeks ago-ish.
about that.
Yeah, and the car wash bays on the Panacea building down front. If you look at the building, the two bays to the right.
Where they put pontoon boats?
Yes. Well, that's the guard, it's the maintenance's boat. That used to be a car wash 100 years ago. And health and wellness in doing the building, at one point wanted to just remove the bays. And Steve was there too, I'm sorry. as Steve pointed out down there, once you have roofed storage space, it's a hell of a lot cheaper to do some maintenance on it and maintain it than it is to ever go out and try to replace it. So, Health and Wellness is at the point where they're doing all the siding on the building. Needed a decision made on whether they were gonna have to try to cobble the siding together around it. What we discussed was cut it loose. It's already got its own supports, put a little bit of space between the building and the car wash roof so that they could side it and,
Side, yeah.
yeah, they can
Okay,
side the building, and then we can side the end of the car wash bay to match it. And one of the things that we recognized when we were looking at that is we were gonna probably have to replace the roof. Randy got an estimate, for a steel roof, which will match what's on the main building down there, of $1,653.15.
You bid it?
I'm just not quite sure.
I'm sorry?
I said, did we look for competitive bids on it?
Yeah, I just got the one.
I think it's a good idea we start doing that.
Yeah, you're right, we should, yeah.
Is that's just parts though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pieces and parts.
Is that from,
That's
So-
material only.
So, well, but you can bid the same parts and short prices elsewhere.
is that from Holmes?
Yeah,
Maintenance, I mean, and chances are they're gonna be the best, they're close and convenient, but
but you're right, we should.
fiscal
get it.
responsibility is, yeah, we did look into it and this is where it's at.
Absolutely.
What were you gonna say?
I'm just not sure what the topic is here. What, is this have something to do with a donated system or something?
No. The bays, the bays,
See, just like me.
yeah, so that they
No, I mean,
match.
I haven't heard about this, so I'm trying to get an understanding.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about building wise.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely, I'm just.
Those two bays are going to not match the building. The roof isn't gonna match, and the siding on the end isn't gonna match. I guess we could say we don't care if it matches, but when we cut it, when we were looking at breaking it loose from the building and salvaging it so maintenance would have somewhere to put the boat and one little tractor
Yeah.
and stuff out of the weather,
RV tractor, yeah.
we then
I'm just
looked.
trying to salvage the roofing system,
Yes.
put something under.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes,
Good time to
The
do it.
roof is getting pretty deteriorated.
I just remember the only other conversation we had was something about somebody was trying to donate some mechanism.
oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking you guys are going down
Yeah.
the path of implementing it, and I just hadn't.
No, I can understand.
I was the same way, I thought, are we really gonna put a car wash in?
Well,
No, we're not.
Some of us were doing car wash.
in a month or two, you guys can do whatever you want, but I don't wanna go. So, I think we need to get a second.
Don't wait in line to wait for a car wash.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright, so we'll push this off till you
Yep.
come back with some other estimates.
Yeah.
We can do an e-vote.
Yes.
Has anybody got any real objections to it? Or?
So,
The value to us is just simple winter storage,
Covered space.
covered space.
Yeah,
It is shingled now, so it's not leaking. It's just that.
Even better.
It's in pretty bad shape, the shingles are, and it's just a matter of time.
No, I
so it's one of those things where we've got time, he can go get other estimates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So we'll
Are
just,
we doing work or
Yes.
yeah.
will the guys have, I don't know what kind of, I have
We,
no
you
idea.
mean us?
I'm, I don't know, I'm not. I climb just as good, but I don't bounce as well as.
Yeah.
I don't do high work anymore.
Maintenance staff.
Three steps up a ladder is as far as I'm going. Okay, he's gonna get estimates. We'll worry about that later. All right, moving right along. Discussion items. The first one is that's starting about 6 o'clock. The MC candidates, we have 6, all 6 of them confirmed. They start at 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8:30. So hopefully we're out of here by 9. But that's an executive session of that's not gonna be recorded for posterity. Funding goals, getting back to that.
And I've got that in here also.
I saw that, and I printed one with notes, my notes. Going across the, oops. going across the spreadsheet, which, while I'm thinking about it, one of the things I'd like to have Penny add to that spreadsheet, based on what we decide tonight, is where we are towards goal. Whatever goal we give each of those funds, because that's not on there.
A short number, like what we're short of the goal.
Yes, yes. So if the goal to, like, for example, amenities, we're $51,507.40 behind where we should be right at this moment, which is November, December, January, February, March. And that number needs to be, because the MAG group and some of the board, and I agree with them, want to share this. And they want it in a format that just about anybody can kind of look at and say, okay, we're supposed to have $51,507 for 2020's amenity fund, and right at the moment we have a whopping zero. Okay? And I don't think that would be that hard to do with that spreadsheet, is to add that
Gotcha.
category.
All right. So you want basically over to the side, or where do you want it at? The goal amount?
At the bottom.
Bottom.
Just have, goal amount, current balance,
Okay.
amount we're short.
There you go. Now, a couple of them, I mean, it's, the club, MM, that we put $100 in a year, the transfer, that one for the bank, we put $100 in a year, so, I mean, that's a moot point. Okay, now to discuss the goals that we need to set. Actually, amenities is a rolling, it's determined every month by new members. Capital fund, the feedback I got, that page here, was, and I agree with it, is we should up that, the goal should be 10% or $13,657 a month. Everybody okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Depreciation fund, I'm trying to think, the goal, and Jim's notes back to me, we should up it to where we're taking out $16,666.67, unless you're a religious freak and don't want that kind of number out there. But that should be what we have as a goal. But Jim made a point, and JJ sent back that he agreed with it, and I kind of do. Maybe we should make the goal $300,000 a year.
Well, but it would be the goal to maintain $300,000 a year and try to put in 200.
Okay.
The thing is, if you
Because you're
break a
gonna
dump
spend
truck,
it,
you break
theoretically.
one of our dump trucks, that's 120
Right
grand,
there.
Right.
130 grand, and we have to have it.
So the goal over the
We have
next,
to have it.
so what you're saying is put the 200,000 as the goal, but over the next
Funding goal.
but over the next 2 or 3 years or 4 years, try to get it up to where there's a $300,000 rolling balance kind of thing in
I
there.
mean, if we didn't have that when the dam broke, we would have been in a roar of hurt trying to pay the engineering costs just to get to the point of doing an assessment vote.
Okay.
I mean, we need to get back to that place, because otherwise we're not prepared to deal with a dam problem. We're not prepared to deal with
Any problem?
any large problem. Yeah, any large problem.
No, I agree.
So,
So for reporting purposes, to put these numbers in the echo and to discuss them with the board members, the goal will be 200,000
funding,
funding. The funding goal is 200,000 a year,
correct.
annually. Okay. You got that?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah. And is that the 16,666?
If you did 200,000 divided by 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. We should round that to like 16,700. Some people don't like all that many sixes.
No, I was thinking drop it by a penny.
There you go.
So,
Thanks, Dan. Okay, the next one, the employee insurance fund. Mr. Sigafus's recommendation is the funding goal on that should be 80K. Sometime years back, some advisor, consultant, analyst, or somebody, tried to tell the club that they needed 160,000. And as Jim put in here, that's if, you know, you want 10,000 for each, because we cover the first 10,000 for every employee that you have in the fund. Well, we've got 16 people in there. That's what that's saying, is all 16 of them are gonna have a catastrophic problem at the same time, and
Yeah, there's 16, or there's covered spouse.
Right.
Somebody would all have to reach the 16,000 max. It's not to say it couldn't happen, but it's very, extremely
Very
unlikely.
unlikely.
it's
Yeah,
possible but not
absolutely.
probable.
80,000 or half of that would be very conservative.
So we're gonna post that our funding goal is 80,000. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Road fund is a function of the new member fee. It should be 10%. What we just need to do.
Make one point clear. 80,000 is a balance, or 80,000 is a budgeted amount?
Well, 80,000 I think should be the balance. which
Okay,
turns out-
that's fine, that's what I thought too. I wasn't,
Yes, right.
Yes.
I mean, so you have a good year, you don't put as much.
Yeah,
in.
you don't need to put as much.
That's all, that was the only point I was
Yeah,
making.
I think it's 80,000 as a balance, because
That's-
that's
that's-
sitting there.
We'll stop, I'm done.
Yeah, it's good clarification.
The road fund, which I'm sure is also gonna need some clarification when you start talking to membership about it. This is only the part of the road fund that is the 10% that comes out of new member fees. This is not the $200 that all of us write a check for at the beginning of the year.
Right.
But that we need to put a rolling fund goal down at the bottom, like you do for amenities. Now,
Well, I don't know how you can do that, but you don't know how many new members you're gonna have.
like you do with amenities. You put, this month, you'll know what you got coming in, and that goes into your goal. Like right
You
now,
know your new member fee, what's your new member fee?
Right, but the amenities is money for next year. The money we take in now is to be spent next year.
yeah,
Yeah,
But it's supposed to be funded into this fund.
Right.
As you receive it.
right, but you don't know how many new members we're gonna have from month to month.
so
how can you-
so the goal changes every month.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
a rolling, it
gotcha, yeah,
needs a line at the bottom of this sheet, exactly the same as the
yeah,
amenities does.
gotcha.
So if you had hypothetically 5 new members, that's around 20
Sure.
grand, your goal would be $2,000.
Right,
Right.
gotcha,
Were you able to fund that $2,000 to get
Right.
gotcha.
Which, it seems like we average about 6, because the goal almost every month looks like $2,222.56 or whatever, so. Okay, so, we're all on the same page with this going forward, because we need to, I'm gonna put an email together explaining this and send it to Annie and the MAG group, because they really wanna get that information out. I think, and we probably ought to need to discuss this too real quick. On the Echo, in the Echo, the numbers we report every month, there is no lodge anymore at the moment, temporarily. So why don't we take that out and put how we're doing towards funding these funds in there as something to report to the membership. I think MAG wanted to, I think that was one of their ideas that they had.
They also wanted to know like what we spent, if we spent anything on capital or depreciation funds. Also, I think they were wanting to see that.
Well, that wouldn't be hard to tell them.
Yeah, well, that's that right there.
Yeah, that's not hard.
Yeah.
You just put what we spent,
Yeah.
$40,000 on a mower this month or this month.
Well, I like the idea of plugging that in place of the non-existent PRL. Feedback?
Yeah, I think that's really what they're looking for is, what do we need to get it going again? What's the comfort level to get it going again? And that's really, that's the biggest question that went to that group for the most part,
Okay.
the lodge and clubhouse. What is it, what's that number, what's that goal that we're looking at?
Any other questions on this subject?
I'm not, every time I put a goal on something, I want to say, what is your action to that goal? And I'm not sure what our action is to that goal. Is the board going to do something? It's informational, I understand that, but I just don't know what the activity will be.
Well, these goals have kind of sort of been there. They just haven't been in writing. If you wanted to take the calculator and add up what we were supposed to be putting in depreciation, well, you wouldn't come up with what we're gonna put out there now.
Right.
The goal, the action would be to work the budget so that we can fulfill that objective every month.
Okay, so if we don't receive enough funds, we will go into a budget review and reduce budget by X. Because I don't think we will do that when it's depreciation or something like that. I'm just challenging the question about what does it tell people? But it tells them we're behind, and I definitely want to
And
know.
we need a bigger assessment, yes.
We need more revenue, that's what it tells you. I mean, that's the ultimate answer, that we have to have more revenue to fund these things to be in a position to operate. Or we're gonna have to continue to make changes we don't want to continue to make. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, we have to get this stuff funded up
It just,
to operate.
To answer your, I don't think,
I'm not trying to challenge having a goal. I'm just saying, when we hit $300,000 in the depreciation fund, we're all happy campers, and our funds have been replenished, and all of that. You know, we are in good financial stead. That's a great activity for us to get to. But if we aren't, what's the counter pressure that you're not achieving the goal? You know, if my customer service level dipped from 98.8 down, and my goal was 98, and it dipped down to 95, I can say very definitely I'd have people challenging me on what I'm doing to fix that, and that I would be reporting on. So if my metrics were all high and people started saying, well, I want to go from 98 up to 99, what are you doing about that? You know, I'll say I'm not doing much because we agreed our goal was, 98.
well, I don't think up to this point, I think it's safe to say that there was not a budget review done. We looked at the PRL every month, but I don't think we really sat down and said, okay, this was off, so we gotta go cut this. I don't know that.
But is that what we're saying?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Because you have to cut expenses in order to get up to where you want to be as far as your goal is concerned.
Which we did when we handed the budget to the Board of Trustees in January.
And close the damn.
And essentially, that's what we said to the board and the membership is we have to cut the budget to get.
Okay, so if we are not achieving our goal, then we as a group are going to reduce our spend accordingly.
Yes.
Which might be layoffs again or other activities.
Correct.
Yep. Okay, now I got an answer. Thanks.
Okay. Cater approval process.
I came up with 4 caterers in the area. One's right here, one which I didn't realize was right here in the hills. I knew they were here, but I didn't know what they went by until I got on the database to find out. But I guess I put this question out: what kind of an approval is needed for these companies to come in here and do catering? And that's kind of my question. I mean, I know we want them to be reputable, but beyond that, what information do we want about them?
Oh, we need another insurance.
Liability insurance, workers' comp.
Yeah.
I mean, that way if they come in here and damage something that we have.
Letters of recommendation.
You want that? How many?
2 or 3.
Okay.
I'm just throwing it out.
No, that's good, that's what I'm asking.
To what level would we look for as far as liability insurance? So we're gonna ask them, do you have? They're gonna say, what do we need? What are we looking? Well, if due to their ill wind, their deeds of their employees burn this place down, are we gonna have them cover the entire amount of this place? What are we looking for?
Good question, yeah.
What do we require of the
Contractors is $1 million. Now, on smaller projects, we're only requiring 500,000.
500,000?
Doubt that you would rebuild this to today's standards for $500 million.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I mean, if the worst would come.
Well, we also have insurance now, don't we?
Well, we know how that
Yeah.
insurance war
Yeah,
would end
but
up
we
too.
do, but
That's the concern.
we went through that once and it was
No,
a pain in the
I think we should have liability. I'm just trying to think, what's a underwriting a 500,000 cost somebody?
Well, I have no idea, but I mean, the thing of it is,
Peters are gonna
you probably
work
need
on a
to
good
know
margin.
what they carry.
Hmm?
You probably have,
$5,000 they can charge.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, typically, what does a caterer cover? I think you'd have to ask that question before you decide on what you want to require.
What does other venues require? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where did you get the 4?
I just went on the internet in this area.
Can we,
And there was one in Bremen, which happened to be here. That's Billy Scarlet Kids. And then there was one in Logan. There was one in Sugar Grove, and there was one in Lancaster. And those were the 4 that showed up on the internet. I didn't call them because I didn't know what questions to ask.
one thing, there's right across the valley from the guard station, if you will, there's that place that has a wedding chapel.
Oh, yeah.
Could we just ask them what they require?
Sure.
Because I bet they have a list of caterers.
I'll bet you could call the mill center.
Do people cater events in there?
I don't know, something we find out.
Yeah.
I think we need to, I like the idea of trying to, okay, you're a venue, what are you making these people have? And we'll base it off of that.
Legions or Eagles or anything, just say, what do you require caterers to have for insurance?
Might be worth checking with our insurance too, just so we know, is our coverage still there for us if we have someone else in here? That may help us determine what we need to.
Yeah.
Good point.
If they wash their hands of it because you've got somebody who's outside you.
No.
It's an insurance company, they do what they want, we don't have
Yeah,
to.
we also need to make sure they've got workers' comp coverage. I think
Absolutely.
somebody mentioned that.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Okay.
And insurance companies love to fight each other.
Yeah, because we don't want their employee getting hurt upstairs and us trying to put us on the hook for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Good question.
you got a little homework there now.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Chip and seal. I got a hold of Mr. McNabb. They're gonna be back next Monday. The state of Florida is gonna let them leave.
Or maybe.
Well,
He has one company that he'd actually mentioned to us in here at some point, but I couldn't remember who it was. And he's supposed to be getting me their phone number. He didn't text it to me yet. As soon as we get that information, we're going to, and Jim wants to be involved in helping get estimates, and also he wants to drive around with Rick and Randy and point out some things that we're gonna need to have to fix before you wanna come in and waste the money of putting chip and seal over something that doesn't have any base. So there's gonna be some, so I guess what I'm saying is, he'll get estimates with McNabb's help. Probably won't start on that process till about Monday, but we do need it to kind of move along to get on these people's calendar.
No, absolutely.
And we don't want them coming in here late in the season like we've kind of done before.
but,
You know, the earlier we can get it done, the better.
I mean, the question becomes, is before you do the bids, you're gonna need to know how many miles
Yep.
you want to do, because you don't want us to use up the entire 180 chip bill. We need some money for
Yeah.
Rick to do
Right.
his stuff.
Yeah, patching, yeah.
So either A, you back into the number and say, well, we think Rick needs 30,000 to prep and do asphalt repair and, you know, poles and anything else.
I'll knock that door,
How much,
somebody's
how
trying
much
to get
roads
in.
can we get done?
Our first interview,
Or do we say, well, we've got 25 miles of roads that we've done, what is that gonna cost?
Yeah.
And then we figure out, well, we scale it back to give Rick some money, I don't know how we do that.
Well, also, they may do it they may figure it by linear foot, something like that. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mile.
But you guys have to drive around and figure out what roads are highest priority,
Yeah, we
down
can
to
do that.
lowest priority. Like the main road doesn't do that at all.
Right.
But what is highest priority? I know the dark side of the lake, the roads are looking pretty rough over there.
Yeah.
And so you and Rick and Jim have to prioritize what sections we've done, and because we may have to say, oh, well, based on the bids, we gotta scale that back a little bit. Because we have to leave 20 to 30 grand for asphalt.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Patching.
And culverts and everything else.
Well, Jim pointed out when I talked to him, McNabb, there's too many Jims again. Probably not this year, which is good, but next year, we're gonna have to start looking at parts of this moto pave are gonna need chip and seal, because it'll be over 5 or more, and the goal was to get 5 years before we had to do anything, and that's kind of what we were promised, and it's proven true. So, we'll look at that for later, but,
Randy,
Yes.
Rose Brothers paving at Asheville, would like to put a bid in. I've got their number. in-
Rose, R-O-S-E?
ROESE,
Okay.
983-2844. At
2084?
2844.
2844.
Send him an email.
I'll send an email to you.
Yeah.
Either talk to Dave Rose or Brian, either one.
Well, the guy that Jim wants to talk to is, it's called 2020, and he used to work for, who's the company that did our mile, or motor pave? Shelley. He used to work for Shelley and went off on his own, he's got good equipment and all that.
Yeah.
So, anything else on that? Nope. Okay. Dough sheeter offer. Dum-dum-dum.
Yeah, Gerard, who's our former chef, was working for Fairfield Medical Center. He's doing a lot more baked bread, homemade bread, and they're interested on our sheeter. They'll pay $400 for it.
What'd it cost us?
$2,400 back in 2014.
Is it something we'll need to run a restaurant at the lodge?
Depending on what we want to do.
Well, we did.
It's gonna cost us $24 to buy another one, we already own
Oh,
one.
it's gonna cost probably more.
We did pizza dough, is what we used.
We did our own pizza dough.
Oh, did our own pizza.
And then towards the end, we bought the shells and
Yeah.
didn't need it.
Yeah, but that was more so of a labor issue than,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
like the
I would,
crust.
I would recommend hold on to it.
That's how I feel too.
Let's see what
I
happens.
don't think
when we open
400 is
back up.
gonna build our budget to where it's gonna be
Okay.
in a pit.
Yeah. So, no,
Okay.
that's kind of a 5-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately.
I'm sorry, you can't see it right here. I'll nod my head.
Okay, old ball diamond boat trailers only, is that just a confirmation?
Yeah, I mean, that's what, we've had people, run in there with their jet skis on trailers and also people try to put their enclosed trailers over there. I just want a confirmation that it's boat trailers only.
It was boat trailers only last year, and I don't see any reason to change it.
Okay.
One point on it, we store trailers down there that people have parking spots at their property for. I don't know if you realize that, but last year, for instance, it took well into a month or better, maybe even 2 months after we put all the boats in the lake, that thing filled up with boat trailers. So I'm just wondering, why are we creating that view for, I don't know how many really need to be there, versus, they're on their own property.
But how would you determine that?
Very difficult.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's a kind of a, always is kind of a problem with people concerned about the visually seeing them. I just don't know why we're into the practice. I guess it becomes a moot point if we ever have funds where we can put a fence over, across the way and we have an alternative, but.
But there's still not enough room over there for all the trailers. Right now, that
It's like
place
full
is
ground.
full, yeah. And there's trailers we gotta move out of there because they're on the ORV track.
Well, we started to
Well,
build,
there's room over there. Don't assume there isn't room. It's what we're using the space for.
well, we could decertify the airstrip and put it there, that'll start something.
Or the ATV
I
track.
didn't just say that.
I'm just saying.
I don't mean that, really.
Yes,
the short time.
we started to build a wall in front of it with bushes, and, the committee that was gonna do that put the ones in at the end of last year, and then didn't ask for any money to continue that this year.
Right.
So, I'm not sure where we are with that. I don't wanna get into going around and looking at somebody's driveway.
I don't think we have a real answer. I definitely know.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, there's very few empty trailers there. Where are they?
Well, there's people that store their boats off-site.
I
In
know.
Bremen and other places, and when they come and put that boat in to put it at the dock, then they don't wanna they don't wanna pay to have that trailer parked off-site, so they put it back there.
My only point is, most of the boats are in a lake already.
There's a lot of dock space open there.
Yeah, there's,
Okay.
within a month or so, there'll be quite a few there. And then we'll be fighting the deal where people the daily parkers wanna do there instead of up by the shelter house, which is the lot for them. But,
I'd rather have them sitting there and maybe unsightly as I would have them sitting a foot and a half out in the road on the curbs, and, you know, we run across that too, and
well,
then we get some.
I'm okay with staying with the same rules.
Road is.
I'm all right with
But you're right,
same rules we had last year.
we've set the precedent, and I don't think we have an easy answer to fix. So
So,
I'm good.
okay, so we're 5-0 on leaving it the way it is.
You could say.
All right, anything else? Well, our meeting, this part of the meeting is over. We go into executive session and we do our first interview.
Off camera, I'm assuming.
Yes, I'm turning it off. Anybody wants to go to the
I'll get it.
Do we